And to our top story, and this has got to do with the pollution in the national capital. Well, people in the capital woke up to a dense fog as Delhi's air quality has plunged dangerously close to the severe mark. At least 20 monitoring stations across the city showed readings in the red zone, signalling severe pollution levels. Delhi government has decided to make two major anti-pollution measures permanent. One, vehicles will no longer be able to purchase fuel in the national capital without a valid pollution under control certificate. Second, non-Delhi vehicles that do not meet the Bharat Stage 6 emission standards are going to face restrictions on entering the national capital. Amid dense fog, Delhi Airport also issues advisory for passengers saying that all flight operations continue as normal, but flights that are not Cat 3, which is Advanced Instrument Landing System, may get affected.
In the national capital, as the AQI plummets, this is the NDMC area, and the AQI on this live meter shows in the hazardous category, nearly touching 400. Even as the stage 4 GRAP restrictions have been lifted by the CAQM in the past few days, owing to better conditions and improvement in the air quality index, what we see right now is the national capital again expecting in the few upcoming days a soaring AQI. We are right now at the high-rise building in the national capital. This is the Yashwant Bhavan, where anti-smog guns, which have been put up in place by the Delhi government under the new directives to improve the AQI, have been functioning. The government has planned to put anti-smoke guns at 150 buildings. The order issues the anti-smoke guns to be kept at high rise, which is ground plus 5 floors. The anti-smoke guns here are put up in private and public buildings, and these buildings with the anti-smoke guns look like this after they spray water around this area. Now, the idea behind putting these anti-smog guns at the high-rise is to bring down the AQI levels essentially. But to what extent is this applicable, as these anti-smog guns also run in shifts? Few hours in the morning and few in the evening, and that is what the major concern of the environmentalist has also been in fact viewed. How does exactly this effort, after the regular implementation of and working of these anti-smog gun, looks like? It will only be told and viewed in the days to come.
After a severe smog episode last week, the national capital breathed a sigh of relief when the AQI steadily fell down to about 230, 250, which is in the poor category. The visibility significantly improved. Now, the Delhi government claims that their measures, their policy interventions are working. But what we'd like to highlight is what the experts are saying, that Delhi breathes at the mercy of weather. Now, over the last 2 days, the wind speeds had really picked up, significantly rising to about 15 km per hour, leading to better dispersion of pollutants in the air. But over the last 24 hours, the wind speeds have dropped. There's a slight amount of moisture in the air, and the western disturbance is also approaching northwest India, which is going to bring more moisture in the air. Now, as you can see behind me, this anti-smog gun on my left side. Now, these intensive measures are what the Delhi government have been emphasizing as soon as the AQI starts rising. Now, according to the latest forecast of the India Meteorological Department, this western disturbance, which is going to impact northwest India, especially the peak northern parts, especially J&K, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, around 30th of December, is going to bring another rain or snow spell in the upper reaches. But this is going to lead to more moisture in the air, which also comes with a forecast of dense fog over northwest India. In Delhi, there can be shallow to moderate fog conditions. Now, experts are highlighting that these foggy conditions could combine with the high amount of pollution in the air to create another smog episode. According to the latest forecast, the AQI is likely to be in the very poor category for the next 5 to 6 days approaching the New Year's.
Okay, we also have Simran Babbar, who has been reporting on this pollution problem over here. Simran, there have been multiple demands which have been made, many measures which have been taken, but the AQI doesn't seem to be coming down. Are you picking up anything by way of a government sources, Delhi government sources, that is, Simran? Are they planning to kind of expand this whole issue about dealing with pollution? I mean, how do you convince the people that the government is doing its best?
Well, absolutely. In fact, as you rightly pointed out, how exactly the government is marching ahead to combat this air pollution issue continues to be in force. There have been many such implementations that have seen a very different look in the past few days as far as the AQI reaching up to the over 400 mark is concerned. But at the very same time, what is really important is that despite every measure that the government has considered and hoped to bring some relief, there is very little respite. As many experts have also said that even if we talk about the mist spraying, we talk about the anti-smog gun, we talk about the implementation of the GRAP 3, GRAP 4, or the revocation of many stages of GRAP 3, GRAP 4, all of these are somehow in a typical sense a band-aid measure, which is exactly why every year there is the same story but played on a different note. And that is why in the national capital, how we see the pollution problem largely is emphasized on the vehicular emission and the overall localized pollution that comes from the local emissions in the national capital. And the Delhi government has been overtaking a lot of meetings in regards with this strategy to be implemented in the long run. Although it is safe to say and safe to also understand, Pallavi, that at the very same time it is too late to understand that this problem needs a more nuanced and more thoughtful approach and a long-term resolution than a very band-aid or short-term solutions as the government over the years, and whether it is BJP or the Aam Aadmi Party, have been taking. But at the very same time, it is the people of Delhi who continue to breathe this toxic air. Despite every sort of measure that has been put up in place, or the BJP, which had also promised to resolve the pollution issue in the election manifesto as well, seems to be working on foot with that. But even if we speak of right now, every morning around 7 to 8 a.m., the AQI levels across these points, which continue to add even more pollutants, the PM 2.5 matter if we speak of, it remains under the 300 to 400 category, which is alarming. And the fact that the alarming
Simran, I'm just going to go to Shrishti, if you don't mind. Simran, I'm sorry, I'll just come back to you. Shrishti, it is felt that if the wind blows, then the AQI will start coming down. Many measures have been taken, but something is clearly not working this time round. What are you picking up from your ministry sources? Where are they exactly pinpointing the problem? Because there's no stubble burning happening now, no crackers being burnt as some people have been claiming, but blind is somewhat. What exactly, according to them, is the problem and therefore the solution?
Right, Pallavi. So you're right. In Delhi, the pollution is high all through the year. It just rises to severe levels during winter when the weather conditions are extremely unfavorable. Now, as you can see behind me, the visibility is really down across the entire national capital region today. Why? Because the weather conditions have turned completely unfavorable in the now closer to the ground, quickly impacting the health of the people. Now, according to the latest forecast of the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, which actually determines conditions and the air quality, it says that the air quality is now very, it's basically on the mark of severe. It may cross to 400 mark anytime soon because the wind speeds have significantly dropped. Now, when the wind speeds are less than 10 kilometer per hour, that is when it becomes extremely adverse in terms of the pollution levels. Now, over the last 24 to 48 hours, the wind speeds have been extremely low, sometimes reaching up to 5 kilometer per hour during the afternoon when the haze or the visibility really goes down. Now, what happens in the national capital is that when the foggy conditions also develop, says that the western disturbance is also going to impact northwest India, bringing a lot of moisture. So when that moisture coupled with this pollution, it creates smog in the national capital, which is what we are witnessing now. Now, early this morning, when there was dense fog across the city, the visibility across Safdarjung and Palam had also dropped down to 100 meters, which is kind of indicating the kind of conditions or the weather that we are likely to expect in the coming few days. Now, yesterday, the daily AQI bulletin of the Central Pollution Control Board also said, in Noida, cross severe mark,